So finally, we were at Universal Studios, which is one of the most fun parts of our trip, and one Shia and I were really looking forward to. Shia even got us headbands for this place. Out of all of the places in Universal, I think Hollywood Boulevard is the best for photos. Shia and I found this Hello Kitty cafe, which looked really fucking cool, but also really fucking expensive. So we just looked around and took some photos. After walking around, we went to a Starbucks with Shia's titas. I haven't had coffee as well. It was also hot outside, so a nice coffee was nice. It was also here that I met a barista named Dale who was really chill, and after talking a little bit, I found out that his ex was from Cagayan de Oro, my province, and then he upsized my drink from a tall to a venti, and that was the first time I experienced that, and yeah. Shout out Dale, man. Wish I can see you again soon. After my amazing coffee from Dale, we found a spot in Hollywood Boulevard, and me, Shia, Tita Leanne, and Tita Ranik had a little photo shoot, and it came out nice. We started walking to the center of the park, and it was finally time to try some rides. Here's a couple of things you should know before we get started. Like any amusement park, USS has a ton of rides. We rode some of the best known ones, in which case I will be rating them through two criterias. The first one is through what I like to call the extreme rating. This is my way of rating a ride based on how extreme it is. The extreme rating will be divided into three main categories with their own subdivisions. Lower class are rides that are extremely chill. You're just there to enjoy an exhibit almost. Mostly kids' rides would be in this category. Next, we have middle lower class. These are rides that are still chill but have a little bit of edge to them, but don't have a big enough impact to shake you. Lastly, our upper lower class. These are rides that aren't so chill, but they could be intense because of imagery, the effects, or the literal height of the ride you're in, but mostly still low stress, with lower middle class being still okay for kids and middle-aged people. That's relatively higher induced stress compared to upper lower class. Middle class being the middle ground of it being too intense for grandparents and for small kids, but still a bit too low for some kids and adults. And upper middle class being moderate intensity with some motion sickness and is able to give excitement to some kids and adults. Next is lower upper class. These are rides for moderately high stress, not for small kids, and are really exciting. Up next is middle upper class. Small kids, highly not recommended, can be a bit too intense for some kids and can make adults sick. And of course, we have a scale of 1 to 10 based on how much I enjoyed it and how much I recommend riding it. And for this section, I needed some help from Shia.
Ano yung between middle and upper?
Upper middle. Pero I think it fits more sa lower upper class. Kasi
masakit siya sa leeg.
Yeah, masakit nga sa leeg. Yung middle class kasi, you can still put old people in there. Ganun.
I don't think for Mama Gina siya.
Yeah, so I think it's
lower upper.
Yeah.
I agree. Kasi una, hindi ko pa napapanood yung Transformer. Second, ang sakit niya sa leeg. Tapos third, nung yun parang yung natatry natin, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Nung na-try ko na yung iba, yun, dun ko na-realize na mas yung
Mas
Transformers.
I didn't really enjoy the Transformers one as much as I
Compared dun
did
sa iba.
before. I don't know why, pero mas nakaka-amaze siya dati. I think it's just because madami ng ganun or something.
Feeling ko, yeah.
The effects as well. There are parts na we were getting thrown tapos may transformer na nagbubuga ng air. I don't
Yeah.
feel the air as much. So, what would you give it?
It's a 6.9.
I'm gonna give it a 7 on that one.
So, game na. What's
Yeah.
next?
Revenge of the Mummy.
Not gonna lie, I think middle upper class siya. I still felt safe in a way. Kasi yung upper class talaga, airplane sa Enchanted Kingdom.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'd say middle upper class.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't expect it to be a fucking roller coaster. I thought we would get wet.
Same.
I don't know why I expected we would be wet. Kasi it's in Egypt. It's dry.
Diba?
Di ba sinabihan tayo na bawal magdala ng bag? So I thought like, baka mabasa. Hell na.
Sa totoo lang yung takot ko, nawalan na ako ng leeg sa pagsigaw ko. 10 out of 10.
10
Yeah.
out of 10. Yeah. Next is the Shrek ride. I think I'd put it in lower middle class.
Talaga?
Yeah.
Pero kasi hindi siya nakakahilo. Hindi siya, if anything, nakakaantok nga siya eh.
Yeah, that's true. I think the Shrek ride was one of my least favorite ride.
Same. Nabitan ko lang siya dahil si Shrek and si Fiona tayo.
Yeah, I like the story as well. There's a coherent story. I like the paintings and stuff sa line.
Nag-invest talaga sila sa itsura ng makikita natin kapag nasa line kasi most of the time nandun lang tayo.
Yeah, yeah.
They were so considerate for that.
Pero on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did I enjoy it? I think I'd give it a 6.
I gave it something na dun sa vlog ko eh. So come watch that. Charing! Pinromote yung sarili.
Pwede na.
Hindi, pero I choose right now nung tapos na ang lahat and tapos na rin ako mag-rate sa vlog ko. Hindi ko tanda ko ng rating ko eh. Pero I think it would be a 5.5.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, pero I think we can definitely agree. You can skip that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something you can skip. I prefer the other rides so far, far away. Okay, next, the Minion ride. The Minion.
That was cute.
I prefer the Minion one over the Shrek one.
Shrek and Fiona, yeah.
Yeah.
Same. I think isa sa best part sa akin dun sa Minions is yung introduction.
Even the design in the waiting area is really cool as well. Like everything.
Yeah, bahay ni Crew.
Yeah.
Lahat ng decor niya sa bahay na pinakita sa Despicable Me nandun.
What would you say though for the extreme rating? Middle, lower class. Okay.
Same category kina Shrek.
Yeah. Middle, lower class for sure. Yeah. Well, it was cute. So I like the outside, the when you step out the ride as well. Ang cute. We took a picture with, what's his name? Kevin. Di ba si Kevin yun? Is that Kevin or
Sino?
the guy we took a picture with?
Stuart.
Stewart? Si Stewart?
Si Stuart.
No, it's Mel. It's Mel.
Sino yun? And no, half closed yung eyes niya lagi. Ikaw rin talaga nagsabi nun na si Stuart.
Ako rin ba?
You.
Anyway. Okay, so I would give it a 7.5.
I'd give it an 8.
Yeah.
I like yung story niya. Yung concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, an 8.
Alright, next up is we are in Jurassic Park. And first ride is the Canopy Flyer.
That is fun. Pero ang short niya, it's a lower middle.
Hindi, middle class. It's definitely not lower middle class.
Yeah, sumigaw rin tayo eh.
Yeah. Scale of 1 to 10, I put it in 7.
Same.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Rapid adventure.
Rapid, yeah.
That is upper middle for me.
Upper middle.
Ay, wait! Bigla siyang may pababa.
Oh, yeah.
Lower upper or upper middle.
I think I'd put it in lower upper class.
Pero kasi feeling ko sasakay pa dun si Mama G eh. And maso-survive niya yun.
Will she really?
Sige na nga. Lower upper.
I'd give it a 9.
I'd give it an 8.
Why?
It's an 8 for me kasi I was uncomfortable the whole time. Ayoko mabasa hair ko kasi kulot ako. Magiging puffy siya. And I don't wanna change clothes.
Okay. Spaghetti Space Chase in Sesame Street.
Lower class.
Yeah, that's the lowest of the low.
I'd give it a 6.5. Maganda siya, pero kasi yung Transformers binigyan ko ng 6.9. So, I don't think deserve niyang mas mataas sa Transformers. Pero feeling ko if mahaba yung pila niya, hindi ko siya pipilahan.
Yeah,
Pumayag lang ako dun tayo kasi wala kang pila.
Yeah. Okay, so these are the rides where I don't have any footage. Puss in Boots.
Upper middle.
The Puss in Boots ride is upper middle.
Yeah.
Whatever you're rating Puss in Boots, it's way too high.
Ah, really? I mean lower middle.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Lower middle class. It was really cute. It was a really cute ride. Hindi, no. Okay. I think I'd give it an 8.
Ang cute ng mga pusa. Sige. Ako din. 8. 8 for the cats. Next.
Oh, this one. Steven Spielberg. Lights, camera, action.
Paano mo ma-rate yung extreme nun?
Not gonna lie though. I think if we put a senior doon, I don't think they would survive. If you're a typhoon survivor,
Huwag ka tumawa.
I can laugh. I'm Filipino. We're all typhoon survivors. I think...
If meron kang episodes ng hallucinations.
Yeah. Okay. Pero I think I definitely put it in like the lower end of upper class. Like lower up.
Yeah, lower upper.
Yeah. Lower upper class, yeah. I think
lower upper class.
It's really well done. I think that's the one where I would definitely put an 11 out of 10 or a 12 out of 10. It was very
100 over 10.
On our way to Chinatown, we stopped by a Chinese restaurant and the food was fire. I tried this like sweet bread thing dipped in some sort of honey, and oh my god, it was so good. On our way to the market, we stopped by the Sri Mariamman, I think is what it's called, which is Singapore's oldest Hindu temple, built in 1827 by Naraina Pillai. But this iconic tower of deities called the Gopuram was actually built somewhere in the 1930s. During the early days of Singapore in 1922, in order to support newly arrived immigrants, people formed clan associations and built religious institutions. And because it was a diverse melting pot, Chinatown featured different temples and religions like the Sri Mariamman and Chinese temples and Muslim mosques, which were situated closely together. And I think out of all of the places, Chinatown in Singapore is where you can really see the Singaporean stew of cultural diversity and religious diversity. Even in the short time that we were there, you could really feel the spirit of Singapore, which I think was very beautiful. I'm sure you can already tell, but if you want to buy souvenirs, don't go anywhere else in Singapore. Go straight to Chinatown. There's a lot of knickknacks you can buy that are really cheap as compared to other places in the country, and it's a lot prettier. If you really want to immerse yourself into Singaporean culture, I think this is the place to be. And if you're wondering why I like to include history into these types of vlogs, for one, I actually love reading history, and two, I feel that it is very important to understand a country's background before, after, or during your stay there. It allows you to immerse yourself into the place. It gives you a view of the country in a way that it helps you respect it and admire its beauty better. Because just like a human being, a country is a person, something to be understood, listened to, in order to appreciate its presence. First thing we did when we went to Orchard Road was get these iconic ice cream that's wrapped in colorful wafers. The heat in Singapore and in the Philippines was almost identical, and I was sweating buckets, so this was extremely delicious. I'm used to 20 peso street ice cream, which is like 40 Singaporean cents, which I also think tastes better. So yeah, I think the Philippines beats Singapore in regards to ice cream. There were a lot of luxury malls and shop, like this Rolex store with a chicken. Yep, a real chicken in front of a Rolex store in one of the most luxurious streets in the world. Speaking of birds, there was this store displayed out in the open, which was a culture shock for me because I never see these back in the Philippines. We were headed to somewhere outside of Oldham Lane. I wasn't really sure what we were going to do over here. I only saw a mall but one of Tita Jelly's friends who accompanied us around Singapore brought us here, and I didn't expect for me to see something like this in Singapore. It was really cool. We separated from Shia's titas because we had to meet my mom's classmates back in dental school. Both of them work in Singapore as dental assistants in pediatrics and in the oral surgery department. Since Shia and I both study dentistry, they gave us a lot of insight on what working in Singapore is like. Apparently, the working visa in Singapore is so strong that once you get to immigration in other countries, you're easily approved by the agencies. And it made us consider working here in Singapore. We had dinner at this Japanese place and the food was banging. We were curious about this cola drink that was served as a syrup and a separated carbonated water or soda, I don't know. But it tasted pretty good, and we had a hot pot and some sashimi. And overall, the food was just top tier. After our delicious dinner with my mom's classmates, Shia and I were headed to Marina Bay. It was 9 p.m. and the last bus was at 11, so we only had a few hours before leaving. A few years ago, in my first year in dental school, after the pandemic, we had our first classes held on site in campus. It was the first time that my class met each other in person. It was also my first time meeting my group mates in chemistry class. One of my group mates was Shia. At the time, we were always partnered up because our last names were next to each other. And we ate as a group at the McDonald's in Mendiola after class. And soon after, even when our group couldn't stay after class, Shia and I always met after, either way. Every class, ever since. Until I finally asked her to be my girlfriend in second year. That was 4 years ago. Our story isn't perfect. We've actually broken up a few times, but every time we parted, the roads we took by ourselves always brought us back together. And now that road brought us here, just us, at 10:30 p.m. in Marina Bay in Singapore. If you asked 18-year-old me, he never would have guessed he'd have someone as lovely as her. And he never would have guessed that in his 4th year in college, he'd be going on a night walk by the bay with her in another country. So this letter is for you. Because even in another side of the world, the best sight to see has always and will always be you. Thank you for letting my hand be the hand you want to hold. Thank you for letting my shoulder be the one your head wants to rest on. Thank you for letting me fly into a whole new world with you. Love, Louie. I also wouldn't have been able to come to Singapore if I wasn't invited by Shia's titas. So, thank you Tita Leanne, Tita Jelly, Tita May, Tita Ranik for inviting me to come with you all. I've never felt at home in another family outside of mine until I've met yours. Thank you to my dad as well for the work you've put out to helping me on this trip. Thank you to my mom, who was the last person I was with when I last went to Singapore. I'll make it up to the both of you and take you places as well when I'm older. Singapore was an amazing experience, but there's nothing like home. The Philippines isn't great, but it gave me things greater than any country could give. It gave me my parents. It gave me the opportunity to meet Tita Lea, Tito Ranig, Tita Jelly, Tita May. It gave me scheia. All the things I loved came from the Philippines, so it was nice to finally go back home.